Hello, everyone. You're listening to No Limits, a PlayStation podcast, episode 17. And on this episode, Silent Hill 2 remake, Resident Evil 4 remake. I just think I said Resident Evil 4 wrong with a weird accent, but it's all right. Let's take away the intro. Woo! Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Brianna and Sam, and you're listening to No Limits, a PlayStation podcast. Remember, you can find the video version of this pod over on youtube.com/savethegameandmedia every Tuesday. And while you're over there, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you'd rather listen on audio, we are on all your favorite podcast services, and would love it if you could leave us a review. It helps us grow, and we would love any feedback. If you want to support us and get early access to all Save the Game Media content, head over to patreon.com/savethegamemedia. Choose the tier that's right for you, just like our current patrons, Bucky Blue, Hopple, Alpaca Tom, SAZ, Fabulous Brianna, Brianna's mom, Brianna's brother, Brianna's wife, Brianna's blender, Amon, Anna Hudak, Nikolai at Night, Cypher Primus. I said your name correctly this episode.
So proud.
Cypher Primus, thankfully. And Brendan Myers, our newest patron. Thank you so much, Brendan. I know I've seen you active in Play Some Video Games, PSVG community, and also Carpool Gaming and the PlayStation Trophy Room. All really good friends of the show and Save the Game. So awesome to have you here, man. Thanks for your support. Once again, please go over to patreon.com/savethegameandmedia to check those out. And also interact with us in the Discord. Discord is popping off recently, and it's where you can find us on a daily basis, talking about things that we disagree with, that we all hate each other, but it's fine. We already hate each other, and I hate my friends, but it's a good time. Even though I hate my friends as of recent because of school, but
it's because you like your friends.
I hear some stuff on there. Sam hasn't been on there yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sam's been on once. I don't know what this stabbing motion.
We'll get him on there again one day. Maybe when we do like a weekend recording or something. But at any rate, I also want to talk about Extra Life. Guys, we are less than 2 weeks at the time of this recording out from Extra Life Game Day, which is on Saturday, November 5th. And so Extra Life is a fundraising event where you just play games for 24 hours straight, and to help fundraise money for the Children's Miracle Care Network of hospitals that helps treat kids with extenuating circumstances when it comes to their ailments and their financial need to receive treatment for those ailments. So help fundraise money for pediatric kids who are just sick, to put it simply. But myself and Kevin from Project X Talk will be over in Rome, New York on Saturday, November 5th, streaming for 25 hours straight. Yes, 25 hours, because we transitioned from daylight savings to standard time during the marathon. So that's always great. We'll be with him, myself, Sean and Ryan from Carpool Gaming, and Joe and Kyle from PlayStation Trophy Room. So we're going to be streaming on one couch. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be hopefully not too sweaty, and hopefully hygiene is kept up. Crossing my fingers, guys. I probably won't actually be able to stay up the whole 24 hours because I'm a loser. I'll probably have to go back to the hotel and take like a 6-hour extended nap. Some people call sleep. But this year specifically, we are dedicating our Extra Life fundraising efforts to one of the strongest, bravest kids we know, Miles. Miles has Pfeiffer's syndrome, a rare genetic disease that mostly affects the development of the bones in his head and face. Since birth, he's required several surgeries and regular visits with his team of specialists, from neurosurgeons to respirologists to speech-language pathologists and more. And without hospitals like the Stollery Children's Hospital in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, he wouldn't get the care he needs to reach his full potential. So Miles is just one of the many kids that fundraising over at Extra Life benefits, and you can donate money to us and check out the team over at extra-life.org/participant/save the carpool trophy. That's extra-life.org/participant/save the carpool trophy. Links in the show notes as well. So yeah, Extra Life is we're right on the precipice of Extra Life, guys. It's going to be an awesome time. Yeah. And with that all out of the way, how are you doing, Brianna and Sam?
I'm good. Like I was saying just before we started recording, a little bit overworked, but that's nothing new for me. But no, I'm keeping well. It's nice to be back. That imposter that keeps coming in on this show does a terrible British accent. I can't stand it anymore. I won't let it stand.
It's great. I won't be able to do
so
any better.
I'm restaking my claim today.
As Sam, restaking your claim as Sam, the only Sam to
the
exist.
One and only.
Right. All right. Fair enough. How about you, Bree?
I'm doing well. I just been playing a bunch of games. Just keeping myself very busy. Very, very busy. It's all of my own creation, so it's like I could be not busy if I wanted, but proud of myself for making myself busy, I guess. So now before I let you take things away, Taylor, I have to ask, you guys would say that we're pretty good friends, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Would you say that we're 3 peas in a pod?
Oh yeah, I love this. Hell yeah. For audio listeners, Bree has a green pea pod.
I have 3 peas in a pod.
And with 3 peas inside, little plushies.
They're so cute. Okay,
Sam's head is down in shame, but I love it.
I haven't even looked. I haven't looked at the screen.
Oh, look how cute they are.
I can't do it, Bree.
Where'd you get this from? Where'd you get your plush, your vegetable and fruit plushies from, Bree?
Amazon.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right.
They're very cute. And my favorite part about this is when I finally meet you guys in person, look. They come out and I can give it to you.
Aw. Thanks. They remind me of the slimes from Dragon Quest.
They kind of remind me of Slime Rancher. Not that I played that game, but
I think it's the same idea. Cutesy, globular, sentient, happy beings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, describes all the above.
You guys can look forward to a pea when I meet you guys. Anyways.
Yeah.
How are you, Taylor?
Doing pretty good. Busy and my mind's occupied. But as I told you guys in the pre-show, just some stuff that's come up in my personal life that's been taking a lot of my time. It's not bad, just a lot of things to think about.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, with that said, what you guys been playing?
I have been playing God of War.
Oh yeah, 2018 on the PC or the PS5?
No, I've been playing it on PS5.
60 FPS patch, how's that?
Pretty good. It's looking pretty hot, not gonna lie about it. Yeah, I've just been kind of you can actually watch my playthrough on YouTube. I'm doing a story focused playthrough where I just kind of like try and pull apart the story as much as possible so that way I can enjoy Ragnarok that much more. So I've been doing that. I've also been playing the Medium, which the mechanics not the mechanics, the motion of the game kind of drives me crazy. But I actually really still enjoy the game, and I keep getting so scared I have to pause. So it's been a good time. Those are mostly what I've been playing. Other than that, I've been just working on like other projects, like book stuff for Save the Game Media, TV show stuff, and stuff like that.
Cool. So, oh yeah, where can people find your YouTube playthrough, Bree?
Fabulous Brianna.
Fabulist. That's FABULIST BREANNA.
I'm so proud of you.
Fabulous Brianna.
Thank you. Yes. Unfortunately, I don't have like enough followers, subscribers on YouTube to have like my own like / Fabulous Brianna. So it's just a random URL. So you don't have to search YouTube. But yeah, I'm on YouTube.
Oh, okay. And I'm curious, since you said you're doing a story focused playthrough in God of War 2018, what difficulty
I'm
Are you
doing the
playing?
balanced difficulty. So
Okay.
there's like the story focused balanced and then challenge and then God of War. And I'm doing like the
Yeah,
second
the
one.
challenge like in God of War. I think I did give me a challenge in my first playthrough, and I think that was a good balance.
That I get easily, well, I don't say I get easily angry. When games aren't Dark Souls, I'm like, you have no right to treat me like this.
Some games do a
So,
poor job at balancing their difficulty settings.
I'm
I'm
sure
like that.
it's
Like
good.
Halo 2, for example, the hard mode in Halo 2 is absurdly hard. So I just play it like and cheap, so I just play it on normal. But
Well, I
like
mean,
Ghost
I think it depends on like how hard the hard mode is,
yeah,
right? Because if all they're doing is upping like the health of the enemy and the attack power, then it's like
right.
not really.
Ghost of Tsushima does it on lethal. Enemies do more damage, but so do you. Like even if it's that
Interesting.
simple, that makes me more excited to play at a high difficulty because it's higher stakes all around. So I like playing high difficulty there, and I
Yeah.
like Bloodborne, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing I was playing is Outer Wilds, but
Oh yeah, you told us
rest
about
in peace.
game-breaking bug, right?
Yeah. It's you can see it. It's like literally it's on my YouTube and on my Twitch VODs, but basically like on certain planets, when you look in a certain direction, the screen goes black. And basically like it's because of the Nvidia graphics card, they released a recent update, and for some reason, like when you look in a certain direction, it like you can't see. And what's really weird is there's like a thing you take photos with, right? If you turn so you can see the screen, but you turn the camera is also black. You can still see the screen, but you can see like the camera has like a
So
black photo.
does it
It's
turn
really
black
bizarre.
when you're only on foot, or both when you're on foot and in your ship?
So it's only when you're on a planet. I don't know if you're like if you like kind of like move around on the planet with the ship, if that would activate it. I don't know
Okay.
because I don't really like
Well,
wander around
yeah.
planets like
I
with
I
the
can,
ship.
I can tell you
But
with confidence, you cannot beat the game without traveling on foot in Outer Wilds. So
yeah, no, my problem is I finally made it to the 6th location and I can't do anything
the
because
sixth,
when you look out the door, it's completely black.
there's no
And I'm like,
there's no specific order, right? So you can go on a lot of these planets in separate. So when you say sixth location, that's pretty vague.
There is Quantum, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what you mean.
Yes.
Okay,
There's
yeah.
a place called like the 6th location.
Oh, okay, never mind. Maybe
I
I
mean it
forgot
very
that.
literally.
Oh, yeah. Well, where Bree's referring, for listeners who haven't played Outer Wilds, it's a very cool part of the game. So yeah.
Yeah. What have you guys been playing?
Yes, Sam, you go first.
Sam, what have you been playing?
I have been playing Redacted and Redacted.
Oh, a little NDA. Oh.
Yeah, one is good, one is less so. I can I? Yes, I can. So one of them that I'm covering, which technically I can talk about aspects of because it is live partially, is Modern Warfare 2.
Are you playing the campaign?
Yes, I will be doing the multiplayer coverage, but that isn't live. But I'm still doing some of the campaign coverage, which is obviously what is, I think it went live yesterday or the day before. So it's good. It's good. I'm happy to report. Yeah, not much else I can say. Definitely nothing about the other Redacted. Anything else I played a bit of the Medium. I've already played it on Game Pass, but I was just seeing what the haptics were like on PS5, see whether me holding a PlayStation controller and me being more familiar with that maybe could help with the controls and the movement, but alas, it did not. And then the only other thing I've been playing is like an unhealthy amount of Marvel Snap.
Oh, isn't that the mobile game?
It is. As someone who has played Hearthstone for many years, the original director of Hearthstone is the guy behind this game, and it's free to play. All the microtransactions are completely cosmetic. There is no pay to win. The stuff you can buy in the store is actually quite limited, and the way that those game systems are designed, there isn't really a way that they can change it after the fact to become scummy down the line. So as it stands right now, it's just a lot of fun. And being like a Marvel simp that I am, it's like an amalgamation of two things I adore. And various aspects of my free time, the little that I have, are completely consumed by it at the moment.
Awesome. So I assume you're looking forward to Marvel's Midnight Suns when that comes out in 2023.
Yes, less so. I mean, obviously that is card based, but
yeah,
with it being like an XCOM-y tactical thing, those are still my jam. But at least from what I've seen of Midnight Suns, it hasn't quite blown me away in any way yet. So I'll still be playing it for sure, but I'm not holding out too much hope personally. I just don't think that what they've gone for in terms of game design is necessarily going to pan out excellently. Obviously, it's quite a niche genre anyway, but I don't think it's going to be quite as enrapturing for people as they're hoping it will be.
Oh, all right, fair enough. I guess that just leaves me with myself, all by myself. Once again, Luna's here. Brianna's cat is here. Yes. Luna seems like she really doesn't want to be held like that. Yeah, but it's fine. So I've been playing a fair amount of stuff.
She's being difficult.
So a little bit of Yakuza 5, like I mentioned, I think last week. Mario Maker 2, I played a little bit of Mikey Mike's New World Super Mario Bros. 5, which is a big Mario Maker 2 project he's been working on for a long time. First world of that was good. It wasn't anything major or groundbreaking. Like, it wasn't the second coming of Chris Pratt or anything, but it was decent. Ghost of Tsushima, haven't made any progress with that since our last episode because I've been busy. I guess I haven't been playing it. A little bit of Smash, like always, because I'm a Smash simp. And also Forza Horizon 5 on PC. I picked up my save from when I had my Series X. I picked up my save. My Series X now absent. I sold it and got a GPU instead. But that save carried over, synced with PC Game Pass. So I'm playing a little of that. Looks really good on my 3070. Yeah, I think I'm pushing like 100 FPS on extreme settings, so 90, 100 FPS. So nothing to complain about there. Really solid. So yeah, I guess I should, I don't know if I will, but I should be getting into Luigi's Mansion 3 for my Halloween game.
Ooh,
like now.
That sounds fun.
Thanks.
I've never played it.
I'm excited. So yeah. So there. So heading into the news, speaking of Halloween, hell of a news week for horror games. Starting with Silent Hill. Silent Hill is back, baby. We have news from Konami as part of a recent Silent Hill quote transmission, which was a little Silent Hill showcase that Konami, of all companies, yes, Konami, did put this on. That showcases 5 major Silent Hill projects and games currently in development. And they include, as the frontman for the show, Silent Hill 2 Remake, developed by Bloober Team. This is a PS5 exclusive, developed with the help of the original artist, Masahiro Ito. Or is it Ito?
Ito.
Ito. Very good. And composer Akira
Yamaoka.
Yamaoka. Yeah, thanks, Bree. So it's great that they have, especially the composer. I think that's, my opinion, maybe the biggest. Let me back up.
That's
Artist and composer are probably the 2 biggest things, biggest consultants that you want to keep on for a revival like this. So Silent Hill 2 will be remade for the PS5, and I think it's also coming at PC day and date. And if I recall correctly, it's an exclusive for 12 months. It's a time exclusive. So Xbox should be getting it afterwards. So I know fans have been clamoring for that for a long time. At the least, a way to play Silent Hill 2 on modern platforms, but now you're getting a full-on remake. Also, Silent Hill Downfall, which is a spin-off game developed by No Code Studios, who made Stories Untold, and published by Annapurna Interactive. I think it's personally surprising to see Annapurna publishing a non-indie title. I feel like I've always seen them publish only like indie titles over the past several years, but they're a great publisher at any rate. and this will be a unique take on the Silent Hill franchise, Silent Hill Downfall. There's also Silent Hill F, which is a narrative-driven spin-off game set in the 1960s in Japan and written by acclaimed Japanese writer Ryukishi 07, who's the writer of Higurashi and Uminuek. Wait, I'm doing Umineko. Yeah. Thanks, Bree.
You're welcome.
I actually know someone who's a big fan of Higurashi. So
Higurashi is intense, to say the least.
Oh, really? Yeah. Is it a VN?
So it is, yes, it's a visual novel, and
Or
it's
version novel,
originally like a light novel, I believe, which got adapted into a visual novel, which then got adapted into an anime and video game. I think. No, wait, no, it's just I lied. No video game.
Okay.
Just the visual novel. I was thinking about it, and I was like, no, that doesn't make sense. Anyways.
Cool. All good. And then we have Silent Hill Ascension, which is an immersive collaborative project between Genvid Entertainment, Bad Robot Games, Behavior Interactive, and DJ2 Entertainment, where participants around the world will control characters in a new Silent Hill story. It's community-driven, controlled game like Let's Play Pokemon or like Twitch plays Pokemon. Am I right in that assumption? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's more of an aggregate-driven decision game. Those are always fun seeing it on Twitch. All the inputs coming through the chat box where it says up, 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 A.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we have Return to Silent Hill, directed by Christoph, which is a movie directed by Christoph Jans, whatever. Director of the first Silent Hill movie, is making a third movie in the series. More details are to come with that. This comes to us. All the Silent Hill news was summarized by Matt Kim and IGN. Thank you for that. And yeah, guys, Silent Hill is back. I think I never played Silent Hill 2. Back up. I never played Silent Hill, any of them. But I think for a first time with the franchise, I probably can't go wrong with Silent Hill 2 Remake.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly where I'm like, I'm so excited because I've not touched the Silent Hill franchise, but I've always wanted to. I just like there was like a gap in time that from when I was like a kid to about like junior high school age that I just didn't play games, and a lot of the Silent Hill games kind of came out during that gap. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So I ended up missing it. And I'm very excited. I do have a question. I don't know if you guys know the answer. Why are we getting Silent Hill 2 remake and not 1?
I think Silent
2
Hill
is just more beloved.
Yeah, it's like the most acclaimed game of the franchise.
It's like why we got Resident Evil 2 first instead of
okay, that makes sense. Do you think that they'll go back?
I don't know. I think Silent Hill as a franchise, my understanding is that it's pretty inconsistent when it comes to the quality of the games. Like Silent Hill 2 was like top tier. Silent Hill 3 was bad. I haven't played them, but Sam, do you have any insight to land on this?
Yeah, it's pretty much that. It's just that, I suppose we are seeing most Resident Evil games being remade now.
Well,
mainline ones.
2, 3, and 4 were all highly acclaimed Resident Evil games.
Exactly.
5 and 6 aren't, right?
Yeah, and we're not seeing any of the spin-offs of Resident Evil being remade. I would probably wager, unless if Silent Hill 2 Remake does extremely well, maybe there's another game in the franchise that I'm not thinking of that they could do. It probably would be the original, to be honest. I would think, if anything. Most of the others didn't really make any impression on me. Could be wrong, but yeah, I don't think we're going to see a Resident Evil line of remakes. I think this might just be it, because this was the definitive Silent Hill. So
so we'll like hit a remake and then just do new ones and go from there.
Probably.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm very excited about this news. I don't even want to watch the trailers. I'll get too excited.
Yeah, I am of two minds, because Silent Hill 2 is a classic. I love it. I have not loved anything that Bloober have done. That's including the medium. I think I'm of the mindset that Bloober didn't exactly handle mental health great in the medium. I don't think it was the kind of depiction that I was necessarily hoping for or even expecting. And without going into spoilers, Silent Hill 2 is very, 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 very much about mental health, as is the entire franchise, to be honest. So I'm hesitant because from what I'm hearing, and I think it was Imran Khan from who said this, but formerly of Fanbyte, but obviously that's no longer a thing.
Yeah, right. I was about to say that.
Yeah, so I was about to say Imran Khan of Fanbyte. Oh wait, I think he posted on Twitter that he's hearing Konami has a very, very, very tight leash on Bloober, which is reassuring. And I think that even goes to show that Konami don't necessarily trust Bloober to take some creative liberties with the narrative, which is really
I don't trust
the main
Konami,
selling point.
So I'm glad Konami themselves isn't doing the remake. But with that said, given the consulting they already have, and I think they're going to stick really close to the chest here that we have a game that we know worked and worked really well when it comes to its narrative and atmospheric impact on the public. Let's just replicate that in 4K and call it a day, right? I assume.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do. So I can't speak to like the mental health aspects of the medium. I'm just not far enough in the game to really like even make like a call on that. So I like completely ignoring that aspect of the game. I think that the game could have like the graphics of the game are really fantastic. And I think that if the camera was unlocked, that maybe the medium would have been a top tier game.
Yeah, potentially.
If they had just like let go of the camera. And I mean, also like, of course, like assuming like the mental health issue is like fixed and stuff like that. So I think that like, I don't want to like completely count it out yet, because I think that the medium was like right there and could have been fantastic, or at least from what I can tell so far. So hopefully.
Nice. All right. Well, I think Bree you'd probably like to take up this next story, huh?
I love Resident Evil, so sure. Okay, so we had a Resident Evil showcase this week. I live reacted to it. Everybody else was busy, but
let's go, Bree. Woo!
Woo! I just reacted on my stuff and then I immediately took the video down, so you can't even watch it anymore.
Why?
Because it disconnected in the middle of it, and so I was annoyed, and so I just deleted. I didn't delete the VOD; it's still available. I just like pulled it from publishing. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, so it was a great time. I loved it. My mom came and watched, and she was very grossed out. It was fantastic. So we got a new trailer for the Resident Evil Winters expansion. It includes a new campaign with his daughter Rose as the protagonist. It also includes the third person mode, for Village, and then new content for Mercenaries mode, allowing you to play as Lady Dom, although it is a shorter height, as we discussed. What an atrocity. No, I'm just kidding. We also got multiplayer shooter Reverse. Is coming out on October 28th alongside the Winters expansion. It's free for all of Village owners, and I believe for some of 7 owners, depending on like which version, the golden version, I believe. And then it fully supports crossplay. Capcom showed new gameplay with characters and locations from Village. It showed a roadmap for it with post-launch content, and it enters early access October 24th. We are recording 23rd, so tomorrow for us, yesterday for everybody else.
Well, patrons maybe in the future.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess it depends on how fast you listen to it. So Resident Evil is coming to Mac on October 28th. Resident Evil 2 Remake, 3 Remake, 7 and 8 are all coming to Switch, streaming via cloud.
Don't
do
guys,
it.
Don't play it on cloud. Don't play it on Switch. Do not buy any cloud game on Switch. Please, for the love of God.
Oh God. New Resident Evil 4 Remake gameplay and pre-orders are available. The video gameplay footage of the remade opening section of Resident Evil 4 was shown. They also released a new cinematic trailer that showed Ada, Ashley, and other iconic moments from the game. PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC orders are all now available. People who buy the PlayStation 4 versions get the PlayStation 5 upgrade for free. And the remake releases on the 24th of March, 2023. How are you guys feeling about this?
Oh,
I
dear.
thought it was short and sweet showcase. I think they showed what they needed to. I honestly don't think they needed to like announce the showcase. I think they could have just released like the video.
Yeah, Capcom
But
continues to like hit on all cylinders just overall. Like Monster Hunter, Resident Evil, Street Fighter continues to look great, I think, in beta. Like
mhm.
they just keep hitting home runs, and it seems like Resident Evil 4 Remake at the very least is that, and I hope the Winter's expansion does that. I never played Resident Evil 4. I actually wanted to ask Sam. Something tells me you played Resident Evil 4 before.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I should play the original before the remake, or just go into the remake blind?
That is a good question. I'm not sure I'm equipped enough to answer.
Okay.
Because I'm seeing things on Twitter that are already suggesting there are differences. Obviously there will be differences, but I mean like active gameplay / narrative differences, even if they're minor. I would say if you are actively interested in playing Resident Evil 4, play the original, because it is good enough to warrant it getting a remake, and then you can experience it as it was initially brought out, or a remastered version that came out a little bit later, I suppose, is equally viable. And then if you really enjoy it, you can pick up the remake, and if you don't quite gel with it, you can skip it.
Yeah, it's $5 on Steam right now.
Yeah,
I was going to say it's always on sale, so
I think maybe I'll just grab it.
Well worth it, I would say, for that price.
Right, and as someone who chickened out of RE7, I think the third person might make it easier for me.
Yeah, it's to me, it isn't really all that scary. Definitely not as fear-inducing as RE7, if you're using that as an example. Like,
okay, I am.
It is very heavily atmospheric, and that builds up a lot of dread. And there are a few moments, particularly early on, when you are sort of getting used to gameplay systems and stuff, that can be a little bit overwhelming. But for the most part, it is where Resident Evil switched partially from just survival horror into action horror. So,
okay, you think 7 is an anomaly in that sense, that it's more horror, or is it just it's just first person, so it's, I don't know.
No, I think it's because Resident Evil 4 compared to the first 3 was far more focused on the action than the survival horror, and then 5 and 6 went even more in the action direction to their detriment, and then 7 was like a return to survival horror form. So I think they're just like two different beasts. Okay. Not that Resident 7 is without action, obviously, but yeah, I think 7 was trying to find a sweet spot, and Resident Evil is like the other 50-50 of the sweet spot, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. And I think maybe I'll try Village when the third person mode comes out. So
it's intended to be less scary. I have a feeling I'm going to be more scared, but I guess we'll see.
I think we'll see. Maybe I'll switch to first person just to see, Lady Dom, but and then I'll switch back to third person.
Yeah, you got to experience that first person.
Yeah, awesome. You
can actually, they have the demo released right now where you can play like the first hour in either first person or third person. So if you wanted to just see Lady Dom in first person, that's part of like the demo, I believe. Or at least they showed that as part of the demo.
I think I saw that on their store page.
Yeah, so yeah, you can definitely do that if you're just wanting to check out first person really quick and then just play through third person. You can absolutely do that. Only thing I would add is that, so I feel like, for context, I've played 2 and 3 remake, and then 7 and 8. And then I've played like Revelations or something like that. I don't remember. There was a weird in between one that I just randomly played. So I would say that like for 2, 3, and I assume 4, they're going to like Sam was saying, like where they're more action based. Like I feel like 7 just has this It still is like the survival horror of Resident Evil, but it has almost this like dread atmosphere where you're like locked in this small space. And I think that kind of helps create that like that fear. Whereas like in the police station and stuff like that of 2, and like the more open areas of 3, it's still scary, but it's not as like locked in. So I think that 7 is like almost like more of an atmospheric horror where you're just like you're really locked in with this crazy family. So I think you'll be okay. You're not locked up.
All right. RE2 Remake is also $12 on Steam right now.
Oh, that is a steal.
I don't need it.
That game is fantastic.
I don't need
My dad played that, and he also played 3 Remake. Loved both of them.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. Maybe I need it. We'll see. We'll see.
That's all I have to add. I'm very excited about all this.
Awesome.
I'm obsessed with Resident Evil. Like, we are getting so much horror coming out, and I am so here for it.
Right, and then you have Callisto Protocol in December, Dead Space in January, and
we
then
got Alan Wake 2 coming out soon. We got
and then RE4 in March.
Mm-hmm.
Nuts. And then, of
Good
course, Silent Hill
stuff.
2 is to be determined, but yeah.
Yeah. The sooner it comes out, the better.
Awesome. All right, well, and less fun news. I think I saw this one coming from a mile away, but take it away, Bree. I mean, Sam. Yes, Bree, Sam.
G4 is being shut down after less than a year of being revived. Comcast Spectator CEO Dave Scott sent out an email letting staff know that G4 was being shut down effective immediately. In the email, Scott states, quote, "We invested to create the new G4 as an online and TV destination for fans to be entertained, be inspired, and connect with gaming content. Over the past several months, we worked hard to generate that interest in G4, but viewership is low and the network has not achieved sustainable financial results. This is certainly not what we hoped for, and as a result, we have made the very difficult decision to discontinue G4's operations effective immediately." End quote. While the closure itself was sudden, it was also foretold by a handful of recent high-profile departures from the network. That's a bummer.
Real bummer.
Yeah, I saw when G4 was coming back that they were really gunning on the TV route. I just don't think you can be successful in the gaming sphere this day and age without having a massive social media presence as your primary way of generating revenue. I mean, we saw IGN kind of make that transition where now they have a hybrid right between editorial and written content and videos, podcasts, shorts, a lot of freelance work like Sam does, that I think you just need to be on YouTube and social media nowadays in games to succeed as your primary way of interaction with the viewer. That's why YouTubers are so successful with a lot of independent gaming YouTubers. So I think seeing G4 try to go TV for the nostalgia route, I never saw it panning out in the long term unless they made the hard shift to YouTube. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a bummer. Predictable. I have to give it to the team at G4, and I mean the creatives, not necessarily the executives, because as much as I agree with you that there isn't really space for them to be that single focused in this day and age, I still think that what they were trying to do was ballsy. I just don't think that the infrastructure is in place to allow something like that to flourish.
Yeah, fair enough.
Having a TV network of sorts that is solely focused around video games and stuff, I think that is inevitable and it will become more and more common. I just don't think that is really the case right now. Games are becoming more and more mainstream every day, but we're not there yet.
You think TV is the end destination for game content, or like streaming service on like a Netflix gaming show, or like,
not necessarily like the end destination, but I think that those are definitely stopping points along the way. I don't know exactly where everything is going to pan out. There are plenty of options, but I think that it's inevitable that as more and more people get into games, whether it's because of the pandemic and, you know, the boom that Animal Crossing and things like that brought, or, you know, VR becoming more accessible, or AR, or whatever. More and more people will start to play games, therefore it will be discussed more, and therefore there will be more avenues and worthiness of discussion in various places. And TV is one of those, or whatever TV looks like, whether it's on network television or it is solely streaming and online, you know, subscription services, whatever. So yeah, I still have to credit them, like you said, Taylor. I think it's inevitable. I saw it coming a mile off. But I still have to give it to them for trying, at least. And also, one last thing I'll say before I kick it to Brie. I've seen some people say, or should I say, pin blame on specific members. I'm not going to say names because I don't want to give voice to any of those criticisms. They were attacks, but I'll say criticisms. That certain members of the G4 team were to blame for its downfall. That's BS. You know, we all know G4 has had plenty of controversy and, you know, negative PR, I guess, since it's been revived for various reasons. But at the end of the day, it's the business executives that closed it down. It wasn't the creatives that caused it to fail, I don't think.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. I mean, I don't think it's even fair to even like suggest that it would be the creatives, because the thing is like there's no way they didn't do their best to make things work. They have no reason to not, you know, like it's not like they hate their jobs. It's not like they don't want to do this. Otherwise, like nobody gets into these kinds of careers just by happenstance, like except for maybe one person that we know. But but for the most part, you just kind of like, these are like dream jobs, right? So I just don't think that that's even fair for people to suggest. And I think that this is, like we said, it's news that we knew was coming, but it's still sad. And I hope that everybody that is losing their job finds placement quickly, and the other companies are able to absorb them, or they're able to find their way back into the industry one way or another.
Yeah, I think I saw a tweet from Gerard the Completionist who said, "I found that I lost my job today." Be it when the rest of you guys did via Twitter or whatever. He was a host over on the revival of G4 Completionist on YouTube, who just found out he got canned on Twitter like Imran Khan did from Fanbyte, I think. Now that's not professional. If you know your job's going to be lost, you should know way before a public press release. At least like 2 weeks before. Hopefully they at least give their creatives at least a decent severance. Well, if they were salary, if there weren't salary, I guess there is no severance. So if it was a contract, probably no severance either. So
yeah.
Well, I hope they have some financial cushion for the creatives who are going to be out of a job after this.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, but is what it is. So moving on, we got an announcement and a slew of information about the DualSense Edge, which releases January 26th, 2023 for $200 US. So this is, or $199.99. It's $200, guys.
Yeah, how dare you?
Don't kid yourself. I guess unless you're in Delaware, the US, where there's no sales tax. But unless you're in Delaware, right? So anyway, the PlayStation's first customizable premium first-party controller, the DualSense Edge, releases on January 26th, like I said, $200 on PlayStation Direct. It'll be available at other retailers on February 23rd, 2023. Pre-orders start on Tuesday, October 25th in the US, UK, France, Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg, only through PS Direct. And replaceable stick modules also released January 26th alongside the controller for $20. Now, these modules are, it's not just the stick, it's the entire, what's the word for it? It's potentiometer that's in there, and the whole stick assembly the whole unit is replaceable. And I wonder if PlayStation is doing this. And sorry, and in the video, it's releasable with like a tab on the back or the bottom front of the controller, where you can just pop out your stick module modularly, no pun intended. And I think this is PlayStation's, I don't want to say silent, kind of cunning, not cunning, a little I don't want to say backhanded. It's PlayStation's interesting answer to maybe help solving drift in controllers, right? And so for DualSense controllers and DualShock 4s for that matter, were subject to drift. I actually never had drift on my DualShock 4. The only DualShock 4 I had for the entirety of the generation, no issues on that one controller. And that was for 7 years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Had that controller. But anyway, so with the entire stick being replaceable, I think this should be solving a drift problem in that the drift isn't tied to the specific nub on the end of your stick. It's in the assembly itself. So if you can replace that assembly, theoretically, you should be able to get rid of drift just from that whole replacement. But that's an extra, that's $20 for the stick module replacement kit and $200 for the controller. So if you want a steadfast solution to drift on your DualSense, you're forking over more than half the price of the PS5 digital model, $220 US to do so, which I think is a lot of money. The controller's already expensive, but it's a luxury product and a luxury hobby. But I just think I wish there was another way to help solve drift that wasn't getting the $200 controller with a $20 replacement. But that's my personal rant. The DualSense Edge also offers button remapping, stick sensitivity, and dead zone adjustment, and trigger dead zone adjustment and trigger stops, so you can adjust with a little, I don't want to say lever, little sliding nub on the back of the controller where the endpoint of the trigger is from when you press down. You know, if the farthest it'll press down, you want that to be halfway, you can adjust that accordingly if you want to be all the way down, if you want it to be only a fourth of the way down. So you can make those triggers as analog or as digital as you want them to, which is nice. And also, you'll have the ability to swap between multiple control profiles. There's an on-controller UI and haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, of course, like we saw in the original DualSense. That all will be functional here on the DualSense Edge. So your $200 DualSense Edge purchase includes the controller, a braided USB-C cable, 2 standard stick caps, 2 high-dome stick caps, 2 low-dome stick caps, 2 half-dome back buttons, or you can assign those back buttons to map them to what you want accordingly, 2 lever back buttons, same deal as the half-domes, a connector housing for your USB-C cable, and a carrying case. Those are all included. It's nice you at least get a carrying case and all these adjustable parts with your controller purchase. And this is from the PlayStation blog from Isabel Tomatis. So, yeah, I don't think I'm getting this controller, but it's nice that it exists. I think, again, to me, the most intriguing thing is the replaceable stick modules, just from all the drift conversation we've seen. But what do you guys think? Are you going to get it?
I just got the God of War PS5 controller, so I'm more than happy with that.
Yeah,
I don't need anything else.
Or it doesn't come out until
No, it doesn't. It's supposed to arrive on the 9th.
Mm-hmm. Usually good about that, unless it's FedEx, which FedEx sucks. But PlayStation is good about trying to get it to the carrier to give it to you on release day with their direct service.
Yeah.
No, I won't be getting it either. Like we talked about this before when it was first unveiled. The kind of things that it offers, I just don't have any need for. Like, it does sound intriguing, and if it was cheaper just in general, then I would consider it maybe. But yeah, paying like 200 quid for a controller that I don't really need, but it just gives me a couple of nice options, that isn't worth it. And in terms of like solving the drift problem, I actually had drift on the right stick on my black DualSense.
Oh, no kidding. I have the black DualSense too. Nothing yet. But I play a lot less than you.
I bought at the end of last year, so that's drift coming in quite quick.
Oh my
and it's
God.
quite noticeable as well. But I got it sent off. Obviously, that was still within warranty and stuff, and it got replaced. That is a completely brand new controller. It wasn't fixed; it was replaced, and I didn't pay anything for it. All the packaging and shipping was paid for.
Okay.
So, like, there are ways, obviously, to solve any drift problems you might be having, but to have, I mean, it's Sony, isn't it? Like, this is just very much Sony. They're going to charge you a premium for a controller, and then because they're Sony, they're going to charge you a premium to have the luxury of fixing the controller yourself.
Right. So, do you also have a new warranty on the replacement? I would assume because it's a new controller.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So theoretically, if you buy a controller and then at the 11th month mark, be like, "Oh, I don't have drift yet," but
throw it at a wall.
I don't have drift yet, and just maybe it's a little unethical. Saying, "Oh no, something else on it isn't working right. Send it to PlayStation. Hopefully, get a replacement." So then every 11th month on the warranty, new controller, new controller, new controller. No, and then you'll never have any drift problems if you have no drift by the 11th month. Just make sure your PS5 controller isn't working. And
hey, it's not a bad idea, but I think they might start to recognize a pattern.
Yeah, they might start to recognize a pattern. Yeah. Maybe don't do that. Yeah, but that might be a loophole.
Never know.
What do you think, Bree?
I mean, like I said, I'm not going to get it. I think it's super cool for people that are interested in it. Again, luxury product. I think that it's annoying that they're selling. I think the $20 thing is simply a convenience thing. So I'm glad that they're not trying to sell it for more than $20, because I could have seen them be like, "Oh, this is top of the line fixer." $50 or whatever. So I'm glad they're only charging 20, but it is still stupid. I think that controller drift is one of the most annoying things to deal with. So I guess it'll be nice for those people to have a way to fix it quickly.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm sure someone in our general...
Someone's so happy about this.
Yeah, someone in our general vicinity is happy. But I know Dat Ninja Dev from Play Some Video Games, I think he said he'll be getting this just because he thinks it looks cool and that jazz.
Not as cool as the Ragnarok controller.
But we'll say Xbox came out with their recent Elite controller, and you can customize that on Design Labs. PlayStation, make a Design Labs, make a controller customizable interface. If you want more DualSense Edge sales, let us customize the color scheme of a DualSense Edge at no additional charge past $200. I think you would sell a lot more controllers if you, and then make a regular DualSense customization for like $100.
I think they should also offer like for example, my Apple Pencil has like a name carved on it. Like you can like do that that's like a free service you can do. I think stuff like that would be really cool to add on.
Well, it's not free. It's built into the cost of the pen.
Yes, but it's the same. The pen is the same cost whether you carve it or not.
Right. Yeah. It's not an additional expense on the consumer, right? Outside of the pencil. Yeah. Fair point. Fair point. Who wants to talk about Callisto? Wait, that's a lie. Who wants to talk about Spider-Man?
Whoa, what? We can't just like skip over Spider-Man.
Who wants to talk about Spider-Man?
I can go. I believe it's my turn. Spider-Man 2 is still on track for a 2023 release. Although it has been over a year since PlayStation Studios announced the game, Insomniac Games, the developer, confirms that the game is still on track for release, despite them not saying anything. Replying to a fan's comment on Twitter that was worried about a possible delay, they said, quote, "We are making good progress and it's still slated for 2023, showing games takes time, effort, resources, and coordination," end quote. So really all this sounds like is they're just trying to not get delays by spending any resources outside of what they need to, as far as like showing the game and stuff. Because I mean, I think we saw like with when God of War was coming out originally, there's like that documentary or whatever that's like that first thing that they showing God of War took them months of work just to show that, and most of that stuff didn't even go towards making the game. It was just extra resources to create that trailer that ended up eating a lot of their time just as like a proof of concept. So I think that like everything sounds like it's on track, and I think everything will be okay.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on when in 2023? I think by
End of year for sure. I don't think
think
it's going to be early.
yeah. I think holiday is probably it.
Yeah, I think so.
Or summer. Spider-Man 2018 came out in September 2018.
I mean,
Miles
if
was
we see
November.
it, we could see it theoretically at E3 next year, maybe, and then that gives it a
Release
few
date,
months
yeah.
of hype.
A June state of play. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to map out what first party is going to look like next year, assuming Spider-Man comes. I think Spider-Man will be holidays next year towards the latter half. And this might seem crazy, but I would say that the summer-ish title, somewhere in the middle of the year, I'm going to say is whatever Ghost of Tsushima 2 ends up being.
Mm.
You think they can turn it around in 3 years?
I think so. I think so. They have the framework in place. It's too early for Naughty Dog. It's obviously not going to be Santa Monica. Insomniac, assuming Spider-Man comes up, we're not going to get Wolverine in the same year.
How
obviously.
old is Returnal?
That's last year, right? No,
about 18 months. I think it came out March 2021-ish.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
right.
so we're way too early for Housemarque.
Yeah, Blue Point, maybe, but I don't. Hey, if I think if there's going to be a third first-party game, it will probably be Blue Point. And then I would say it's about time. Assuming that Sucker Punch's next game is Ghost, I would say that will be whatever the summer title is.
Well, I guess it's not first party, but it's exclusive. Final Fantasy 16 will be a major 2023 release.
Yes, I'm so
excited. Sure. But yeah, I don't have any doubt that it's going to release next year, Spider-Man. Insomniac have, especially of late, a very, very, very consistent track record of just pumping games out. Now, I was trying to do some research. They have 2 studios, one in Burbank and one in Durham in North Carolina. So the team that made Miles Morales, they're the team that are doing Wolverine. So that means that assuming there aren't subdivision, or shall I say sub-teams within one of the studios, which I would imagine there are, one of them would have been full steam ahead on Rift Apart, whilst the other was, I would hope, working from 2018 up to now on Spider-Man 2, even if it was mostly pre-production up until recently. But yeah, even with that in mind, I still think that 2023 is likely, I would say.
Yeah, I think the thing is with a lot of these games, because of the way that devs are starting to make games, like we already have a lot of these engines built, or we have like the world framework built. So a lot of the groundwork of like environment making, it's not that the environments may not be different. It's just that a lot of like the base work that you have to do for the game is already at least partially completed. So I think that that's why we're able to see these games turn around a little bit more quickly. So I don't think that it's too crazy of a call. Exciting stuff. I haven't played the first one, so I don't think I will. I'm so scared. I'm gonna get motion sick.
Oh, I think Spider-Man Remastered's on PS Plus, isn't it?
It's not even about like buying it or not.
I know,
it's
but
about like I'm gonna get so sick.
I think you should try it. It's on PS Plus.
Yeah, I think there are options there that could help reduce motion sickness, from what I remember. So
the other thing, I don't like superheroes.
Oh, come on. At all?
So,
but you like My Hero Academia?
Yes, that is a huge exception. A huge exception. I do love.
It's actually a really good story. Like, it's a really good narrative. Even if you don't like superheroes, I think the narrative is excellent and emotional.
Yeah, see, that's the what really gets me is particularly like Miles Morales, because I love Into the Spider-Verse. I saw that in theaters I don't even remember why I went, because again, I don't like superheroes, but I love that movie. So that's the only thing that I'm like, maybe I would like this game.
I think you like heavily stylized superheroes. Think about Into the Spider-Verse, My Hero Academia.
I do like animation.
These are all animated. I think by definition, animation is highly stylized adaptations of. There's a suit that's a comic Spider-Man suit, like it's from the comic books, that's like cel shaded in the Spider-Man game that you can put on. But
that sounds really cool. Yeah. I will consider. I'm also, I believe. Wait, didn't they put shirtless Spider-Man in there? Anyway,
I don't think so.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
they did.
Oh, did they?
Well, they didn't put him in there. He was in there from release.
Oh, I didn't know.
I think it's if you 100% the game. I think that's the suit that you unlock is just him
shirtless Spider-Man. Okay, I assume it does not look like Greg Miller though.
Okay, Raimi suit. I love me the Raimi suit. Big Tobey Spider-Man fan.
It took me forever to figure out what people meant by Raimi. I was like, what does Sam this Raimi mean?
Speaking of Sam Raimi, Army of Darkness is on my horror watch list for Halloween. I haven't seen Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 over the summer, which were fantastic. One of the best sequels of all time, Evil Dead 2. Up there with Terminator 2. But anyway.
Army of Darkness is very different, but it's equally as great, in my opinion.
Awesome. Okay. All right, sweet. Well, with that fun excursion.
Callisto Protocol?
Callisto Protocol, Sam.
The rumors of Callisto Protocol's delay are false, much to the relief of my fantasy draft. After rumors earlier this week of Callisto Protocol being delayed, the devs have confirmed via Twitter that the game is still on track to be released December 2nd, 2022. We would love to inform you all, and this is quoting from Twitter, we would love to inform you all that we will be shipping globally on December 2nd. And yes, we'll have a 60 FPS performance mode, obviously that being a dig at the controversy surrounding Gotham Knights release recently. Following the confirmation that the game is still launching, it seems that the Epic Games release date was simply an error. Yeah, I'm relieved because this game is on my fantasy draft. I expect it to review very well. And I'm looking forward to playing it.
I'm very much looking forward to this game. I'll be honest, I was kind of relieved it was delayed, not because I wanted it to be delayed, but because there's just so much to play. So I was mildly relieved. I was like, oh, okay, I have a little bit more space and time to play other things. But I mean, I'm gonna play it either way. I'm very excited about it. So, Taylor, are you gonna play this?
I'm scared.
Don't be scared.
I'm actually in the middle of a Dead Space 1 playthrough. That's going fine. You know, I don't finish like I can't. How do I say this? I don't finish a lot of games like Bree, but I'm not that vocal about it. I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I have a playthrough here that I have to resume. This one over there. This one over here.
The shade.
No. It's more like I sweep it under. It's more like I sweep it under the rug and go like, oh yeah, I still have that to do, rather than Bree saying, I need to finish this. I need to finish that. So I have a Dead Space 1 playthrough currently in limbo that maybe I'll pick back up in spirit of this, and also of course Dead Space Remake. But Callisto Protocol is a strong maybe. I can't help but imagine it would look beautiful on PC. So and PS5 like it looks really good, and 60 FPS performance mode, like it looks like a really impressive game that just makes me interested. But then there's the barrier that, oh, it's a horror game and Taylor's a weenie. So we'll see how that evolves. But strong maybe.
Here's what I recommend. Just go through a devastating breakup, and then horror will be like what you do. You just like watch a bunch of horror movies all the time. It fixes everything.
Okay.
Try it.
That is an interesting piece of advice.
Bree, you certainly just picked this out from thin air, not right?
It was just from thin air.
Okay.
Definitely not an experience from 2 years ago.
No. Well, thanks for the tip.
I
unfortunately don't have the opportunity. Can't be broken. Can't get your heart broken if you're not cuffed in the first place. So that's me right now.
That's true.
But it is
true. I would
season.
argue you could.
Well, I guess you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's not like a magic person of interest.
Oh, I see. I see.
Like that's how it is for me right now. I'm kind of like, well,
But
can't lose if I don't play. So,
okay, yeah, that's fair.
but maybe in the future I'll have some more ample opportunity to get my heart broken. That'll be fun.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of I'm hopeful for this next weekend's party for you.
Actually, I'm hyped. Maybe I should get my heart broken.
Yeah.
New goal.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. LinkedIn experience.
Have experienced heartbreak.
1 year. Left job for heartbreak. No, anyway, good news about Callisto Protocol, and also some good news about Final Fantasy 16.
Woo!
I think Final Fantasy 16, guys, as someone who can't get into turn-based RPGs no matter how hard they try, and really wish they could, Final Fantasy 16 looks more like Devil May Cry than it does.
I don't think it's turn-based.
No, that's my point. It's like an action, like an action combat-based game. Like this might be up my alley. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake might be if I ever play that.
Did you play 15?
I played a little bit and I didn't like it that much.
Oh. Okay.
But I was also like didn't give it that much of a chance. I played Final Fantasy 15 during the stage of Taylor's life where he played a game for 90 minutes and then said, returning it, trading it in.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think 15 was a really great experience. Just hanging out with the boys.
Oh yeah. I remember that car that they all got in the back.
You can get that car in Final Fantasy 14. That's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. But anyway, Final Fantasy 16 received a new Ambition trailer, which includes new info about the world of Valis. Is it Valisthea or Valistia? Valisthea. Or Valisthea.
I think this is a new place. So, or at least it's not a place I've experienced. I haven't played a ton of Final Fantasy, but
I'm gonna call it Valisthea. Valisthea.
Perfect.
I'm gonna call it Valisthea, and
one of the above options.
Scream at me in the Discord if it's wrong. So that's the world that the game's taking place in Valisthea, and glimpses of the 5 individual kingdoms that are present in the game. It gave us info about that. We have the Grand Duchy or Duchy of, or is it Duchy?
Duchy.
Duchy of Rosaria. Quote, it is a bastion of tradition. The Holy Empire of Sanbreque. Quote, where ambition is divine. The Dalmekian Republic. Yeah, I got it, Brie.
I knew that one.
Where fortune shifts with the desert sands. The Iron Kingdom. I'm just kidding. The Iron Kingdom. Some people say Iron.
Really?
Weird. Yeah. Sam, do you say Iron?
Get that filth out of your mouth. We English are well spoken.
Okay. I think I've heard some people say Iron before. The Iron Kingdom, quote, forged in faith and fear. And the kingdom of Wallowed or Wallowed. I don't know if that E is silent.
I think it's Wallowed.
Wallowed. Yeah. Wrong. Quote, indomitable in its isolation. And the overall conflict revolves around the dominants who are humans connected to the power of things called icons. Or is it acons?
I think it's icons.
I think it's icons. That's what
it is not the singer.
Acorn.
Acorn.
Actually, no, let's go with it. It is the singer Acorn.
It is Acon.
The power of Acons. These humans who are connected to the power of Acons are disgruntled with the fact that they're seen as outsiders in Valisthea. A revolt is likely in the cards, with the trailer naming it, quote, War of the Icons.
War of the Acons.
Acons.
The singer.
Acorns.
I'm
calling it the Acorns, guys. It gives a more in-depth look at the world and the lore of Final Fantasy 16 rather than the action. And the director, Hiroshi Takai, said in a press release that, quote, as the game edges closer to completion, the team has turned its full attention to debugging and final adjustments, end quote. The game is becoming something, quote, truly special. Final Fantasy 16 is set to hit PS5 and PC during summer 2023. So
who translated that?
Huh?
As the game edges closer to completion, who translated that?
I've seen people use that in common speech and not be lewd about it.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, Brie. All right, be that way.
Sure. Listen, I got to keep up our reputation of being the horniest podcast. Somebody's got to do it.
Thirstiest. There's a difference.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hydrate.
I would argue that I have water. I have not been drinking water. Anyways, keep going.
Keep drinking water. But yeah, I think this looks awesome. Final Fantasy 16 seems to be moving along. I have a better feeling about this than I did with 15. So I think I'll probably be playing this. What do you guys think?
Crazy. It's crazy. I'm so excited about this. I genuinely, I very much loved 15. I love 14. I have spent easily 1,000 hours in 15 or 14, excuse me. So I love it. I really am looking forward to see what they do. The collaboration, like for music that they did for 15 was so fantastic. And I'm really hoping that they're going to hit a collaboration like that again. I guess we'll see. Very excited. What do you guys think?
I'm probably not going to play it.
Wow.
What a
honestly. Final Fantasy is something that has just never clicked with me. Didn't like 15. Thought 7 Remake was okay. To be fair, I appreciate this is not turn-based because I think that is something that has turned me off historically. And also, I will say, a lot of them are speaking English, so like with English accents. So that's a plus for me. And also, just in general, like the narrative setup, even though I'm not invested in Acons and things like that within the Final Fantasy world, at least from what I've seen, what they've shown, it is inherently more intriguing to me narratively than any other thing that I've ever seen from Final Fantasy. So that being said, as much as I don't think I'm going to play it, if there was to be a Final Fantasy that I played eventually, it would probably be this one.
The thing with Final Fantasies is that they're really a time commitment. It's not like, oh, this is like a 10-hour game. They're usually very extensive games, especially like the more recent ones. So it's always like a bit of a time commitment. So I definitely get it. But
I'm not afraid of time commitment. You know, this is coming from somebody who has platinumed various Assassin's Creed games. You know, I'm not worried about the grind. It's just there's something about the games that have just never quite clicked with me, and everything should. Like there are various things about Final Fantasy that I should love, but for some reason I just never have. So maybe they show me something else from this, and I fall desperately in love. But I'm not holding my breath.
Like Kingdom Hearts, or have you played Kingdom Hearts?
Played it, yes. Liked it, no.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
Okay. I liked the first one. I enjoyed the second one. Didn't like the third one.
Oh, stab my heart. How dare
you? You like Kingdom Hearts 3, Brie?
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is it's historically been my favorite game of all time. It was recently usurped, but yeah, it's been my favorite game for a very, very, very long time. The reason I ask is because the Final Fantasy 15 combat is very much like takes after Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 combat. And that there's like that little menu and you kind of, that's how the combat works. So I was just kind of curious how you guys felt about it, because then that's what kind of translates into the 15 combat. That's actually what got me into 15, was seeing the seeing the Kingdom Hearts combat in like a Final Fantasy realm. So
I think the only reason that I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 slightly was because of the Disney hook, as opposed to, I think that was the thing that was able to keep me going. Because I wasn't invested in the narrative, because that thing is convoluted all to hell. Even more than Final Fantasy. But yeah, I think
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't think the people writing Kingdom Hearts know what they're talking about. So yeah, maybe it was that. I don't think it was that the combat and the systems worked in Kingdom Hearts for me, and it didn't in Final Fantasy. I think it was just that narratively, Final Fantasy hasn't grabbed me, and the gameplay systems haven't, and the narrative, or I should say, the narrative context of Kingdom Hearts did, but the gameplay didn't.
Okay, that's fair. Guess we'll see. A year from now, Sam's like, I'm a diehard Final Fantasy fan.
Game of the year. You never know.
You never know.
It's cool. So that concludes the news for this week. And we don't have any listener questions or topics to discuss this time. If you're interested, let us know in the Discord. Or if
You
you
can
hate,
also DM somebody if
or
you're too
DM us,
scared.
let us know on Twitter. If you hate us, let me know. Don't. If you hate us, just let
Tweet
me know
at
why.
Taylor.
Tweet. Oh yeah, tweet at Taylor. Just
Any feedback you have, send it at Taylor.
yeah, especially I don't know if you have thoughts about my new album Midnights that I just released.
Mm.
Yeah. Let me know there. I don't have a Twitter, guys.
I think they
For listeners who don't know, maybe Brendan Fraser doesn't know that.
maybe.
I said Brendan Fraser. Brendan, what's your last name? Myers.
I see Brendan Fraser doesn't know.
Brendan Fraser doesn't know either. I want to see Whale though. Whale, I want to see that film.
I do as well.
I like
I have a
A24.
feeling it will break my heart, but
Yeah, same. But it's good. I like crying. There's a good time to watch sad boy hour movies and then you just start crying. That happened with
I
me in
don't
Dark.
like it.
When I watched Dark on Netflix, I just started sobbing like, I'll never meet my like the one, blah blah blah. This is like in pre-therapy, volatile Taylor bad headspace years, and like the apex of the pandemic when I was forced to stay home. That was really fun, guys. Really fun.
That sounds like a great time.
Please get therapy. It helps. But anyway, moving on to Limitless, the part where we talk about whatever we want. I think we should go with the hottest video game character. Prompt first. If you guys think otherwise, let me know.
No, I put it there for a reason.
What do you think, Sam?
I'm outvoted, so it doesn't matter at this
you're
point,
outvoted.
does it?
All right, Sam.
Whatever.
You go
I
first.
know you wanted to talk about this, Sam.
Sam, you go first. What's your favorite? What's your hottest video game character?
Video game character.
I will say Geralt of Rivia from The Witcher.
Yep.
I think he is undeniably an attractive man, got a nice sort of gruff voice, very skilled. You can count on him in a pinch, you know. He can use magic. He's an all-rounder. That's my answer.
Also, it's the white hair.
That isn't in the equation.
That's a problem
for me.
But... Oh my god, I have problems with characters with white hair.
What? Why?
I wish I knew Taylor. There's just something about it. Nope, it's just for some reason when there's a character with white hair, I'm probably going to be simping for them.
Oh, okay.
It's a very consistent thing that happens with me. My personal answer on this is probably a 2B.
Oh, good choice. Good choice.
Fantastic choice. Has white hair. I had no hope. I had no hope of not simping for that character. She is very attractive.
Okay. I think I have a 3-pronged answer.
Here we go.
Bayonetta. Stomp Me and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Yep. And Lady Dom, of course, was on that list.
Same thing. Yeah.
Kick me.
Same character, different font.
Yeah, kick me down a hill, and just I'll roll to my grave.
And the claws too.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know she has claws.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no, that's weird. Nah, not into that.
I'm learning so much about you, Taylor. This is great.
That's a little weird. Wolverine's my favorite superhero, so maybe I do have a thing for claws, but not in that way. Yeah.
Okay, what's your third prong?
Some people go wild where your back looks like it was just in a train wreck.
Never mind. We're not going to get there.
We're not going to get into that.
I'm going to stop right now before I say something I regret.
Takemi from Persona 5. If I'm feeling like a little black eyeliner, little goth bro, I'll be like, Takemi, operate on me, and then yeah. She's the doctor in Persona 5. For those who don't know, from Little I've played a Persona 5, I know that.
I do have to say shout out, just like a special shout out to all the people that do not the actual Breath of the Wild Link, but like all of the artist renditions of Breath of the Wild Link. Holy cow! You guys should look that up if you haven't. Holy cow, he's hot. He's so hot.
It's like over 18.
Mhm. Or at least in the artist renditions, I assume. And also, he's clothed, so it's fine.
Assuming he's 18 and clothed, guys. Okay. I'm trying to think on the male end of things. Geralt's a good one.
Cloud is a good one.
Sephiroth.
That's a fantastic
Seph is a good
choice.
run. Oh, what's his? Oh, one of the. Was it Chris Redfield?
Yeah.
From Resident Evil?
Yeah, Chris Redfield's pretty cool.
Oh, that's a good choice. That's a good choice.
Leon Kennedy.
Leon Kennedy, yeah.
He's a little too much of a simp for me, you know?
So there's a simp scale.
Yes, there is.
Sliding scale.
Got it.
All right. You guys want to do one more?
Sure.
All right. I don't pick. You guys pick.
Sam, you pick.
My eyes are closed, so I can't see them. So somebody else
That's
will have to pick.
fine.
Sounds
I
like
can
you
also
problem.
close my eyes. I know how to.
I can read them to you.
Yeah, do it, Taylor.
Sam took off his headphones.
Wait, Sam, come back.
Sam, please. Sam, please.
This is why the marriage isn't working out between the three of us.
Yeah. All right, Sam, pick one.
Sure, because it's news related to this week. Given the recent Silent Hill revival by Konami, do you guys think a Metal Gear Solid game remake is on the horizon?
I say no.
I put this prompt in there. I think there is.
Yeah, I'm there too.
Konami's already this willing with their second most. I think Silent Hill is Konami's second most prolific IP that they own. If they're already doing this, going this hard on Silent Hill, I think it's almost a given. They're going to do something for Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, I think so. I might even go as far as to say I would wager it is in partnership with Sony, mainly just because Sony has a arguably better relationship with Kojima, and I think not only the creatives but also the fans would have, or should I say a subsection of fans would take issue with a Metal Gear project that wasn't even consulting Kojima. So I think that the way for that to happen would be if Sony was involved as a mediator or was publishing or whatever. I think that is probably how we're going to see something Metal Gear Solid in the future.
Do you guys think that do you think we'll ever see a new Metal Gear with Kojima gone?
Yeah, I would say
think
so.
They'll
I
try
think
and tackle one without him.
Be a huge undertaking.
Yeah, because they already did with Metal Gear Survive. Obviously,
that
that was
count.
a completely different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
But still, I think it's too valuable of an IP for them to not eventually do something with. I think that the more time passes since that breakup between Konami and Kojima, the more likely it becomes, because, you know, the whole time heals all wounds. And even if it doesn't, enough distance will be past that whole collapse that I think more people will be willing to jump back into a Metal Gear game if they haven't had one for X amount of years. Okay. So, yeah, I think Konami will do it eventually, particularly if this Silent Hill revamp that they're doing with all these projects, if it goes well for them, there is no way that they don't then do the same kind of thing with Metal Gear. We know a Metal Gear Solid film is being made. We have had speculation for ages, people ruminating, going, is Blue Point doing a Metal Gear Solid 2 remake? Ooh, or a Metal Gear Solid 1 remake? Ooh. Which I could see happening. Even just like a collection of the original trilogy, just a way to play them on modern, even if it's not full on remakes. I think it's inevitable. Personally.
Xbox, you can play the HD collection on Xbox back compat.
Sure.
But that's a fringe case. You can't do it on PC, or actually, I think Metal Gear Solid. No, they released the Metal Gear Solid PC port. I think Metal Gear Solid 2 PC port over the past couple of years. Believe it or not.
Yeah. But just upres higher frame rate versions of those games, maybe.
Never played Metal Gear Solid, and I don't think I ever will. I don't want to say like with 100% certainty, but it just doesn't sound like it's a franchise that's really up my alley. But
Right. Yeah, it was Metal Gear Solid 2 are on GOG.
Yeah.
On PC. Yeah, you don't think they're up your alley, Brie? Yeah. Why? What about them? Is it like you don't like the military stealth backdrop of the game?
just in general, I just don't really play like a lot of like military games, let alone like shooters.
Oh, right, shooters. Well, it's more a stealth game than a shooter.
Right. I think that would be the only way that it really gets me is because I do like stealth games, but it still has that like military backdrop. So I don't know. I've just never really like felt like a desire or drive to play the game. That's why I say like I'm not going to say 100% certain that I won't play it because like maybe I will. I just never really like felt like a drive to play it.
Yeah.
You know?
MGS5 probably isn't for you then, because you can go. It's totally open to do whatever you want on the field. You can go anywhere from all the way solo to aiming down sights on a light machine gun and shredding everyone and just getting a bad rank. But you have that freedom. But MGS, I haven't played them, but I know like MGS 1, 2, and I think 3 are more procured, and I think 4 to a large extent for stealth.
Yeah.
Like as the way to play them. Oh, and there's like hour-long cutscenes in 4 where like you basically have to watch several movies to finish the game. Isn't that a thing, Sam?
It is.
Yeah.
But they are very, very good cutscenes.
So. You just made me remember a dream I had where I had to watch a 7-hour cutscene.
Oh, God.
I don't know why that made me remember it, but I was like, wait, wasn't there a game with a 7-hour cutscene? And I was like, oh, wait, that was my dream. Anyways.
That sounds like torture.
It was very much like a warning, like
unconsciously caught watching a cutscene that you can't get out of.
Yeah, it was very much like the Final Fantasy, like how Final Fantasy 14 does it, where they like before you go into the cutscene, they're like, make sure you set aside sufficient time for this cutscene. But it was like, make sure you set aside 7 hours for this cutscene. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can do that.
Damn.
Weird dreams. I've had a lot of weird dreams recently. It's been an interesting time.
There you go. Well, with that said, I think we're going to move into the introduction here. So thank you all so much for listening. Remember, you can find us all on YouTube at Save the Game Media, Twitter at Save Game Media, and Extra Life at extra-life.org/participant/save the carpool trophy. And check out the Discord to hang out. All those links are in the description. But where can people find you guys?
People can find me on Twitter at Sam Heaney. That's Heaney.
H. What about you, Brie?
You can find me at Fabulous Brianna, FABULAST
Great. And I don't have Twitter, but you can find me on PlayStation at MrCarterNine, spelled out. That's MrCarterNine, MrCarterNine. Or you can find me on the Discord. It's Taylor. And yeah, that's where you guys can find me. But until next time, thanks you all for listening.
Bye.
So, bye-bye.